Most African Airbnb hosts think they need to add more units to their portfolio to make more money. But what if I tell you that you don't need to add more units first, that you need to do something else that brings you more money from the same customers without adding units and keep investing your money? For me, the simplest thing you can do as an Airbnb host here on the African continent, and what is oftentimes overlooked or not really utilized to the point where it makes sense, or like where you can profit off of it as well, is just by upselling your guests that you already have, so that you can make more money with the same customers without adding more units to your portfolio. And I want to present you a couple of upsell options, and like first off also give you my way of thinking about them, because it's not just a way to make more money, it's also a way to enhance the guest experience. Because imagine if I come to your property in Zanzibar, in Nairobi, in Mombasa or Accra, wherever it is, I'm probably there and want to do things in the city anyways. I want to get to know the country, I want to do certain tours, I need maybe an airport transfer, somebody who picks me up, or many more different things. And if you can help me to organize all these things, I would be happy enough, because I built a trust with you already more than with other strangers, because I booked your place. And if you tell me, for example, that you also can help me with arranging an airport transfer and pickup, I would be happy to pay you if the rate is fair, and because I know you already and I know you can take care of it as well. Therefore, for me, upsells are not just a way to make more money, it's also enhancing the guest experience a lot, and this means you have much more happy guests and give them what they want anyways without much more hassle. So let me now break down what couple of things you could do, give you some inspiration and things that you could implement right away to increase guest satisfaction and increase your profits from the same property. The first thing I want to mention here as well is for upsells, for example, it can be anything from an airport transfer to a cooking class to a special curated wellness experience for the guests, to a massage, to anything that might be also very specialized for the place you're hosting in. For example, I can imagine that in Nairobi there are different things that somebody wants than compared to Accra, for example, and the same thing in Zanzibar. Because all these places attract different kind of people, and depending on what you are offering to your guests, who you are attracting, if you attract families, it might be different. If you attract business travelers, it might be different. So there are all these different things you could offer to your guests to make their stay more enjoyable and basically also earn more. So the first thing I think is also important is that you don't even need to deliver the service. You might also just need to find a trusted partner who can fulfill the delivery for you. And this means, for example, if I need an airport transfer I booked your place, I need an airport transfer, and you have a reliable driver, you simply hire him, you get a rate from him. Let's imagine it's like $10 or $20 to pick me up from the airport. You add your commission on top of it. So you don't have any extra work, you just basically connect it to, and he fulfills the service for you. Means you can make extra money from the guest is happier because you helped him to arrange, and as long as you have a trusted partner who can deliver on a consistent basis that you can trust. Just to hammer a bit more on this airport transfer upsell, for example, it's like the guests, imagine I book your place right now, and always what we do is in the first message is an automated message that goes out to the guests with all this information they need for their check-in, whatever, everything that needs to be included in the first welcome message we send our guests. And then in the end of the message, we also add like that in case they need, don't nail me down on my wording, but like in case they need an airport transfer or they need anything in this direction for us, we can also arrange this for them. And sometimes people say, oh no, we're good, we just find our way ourselves. But sometimes people also, the closer the stay comes, they're like, oh, I remember you could also arrange the airport transfer for us, could you please do it? You know, you provide your rates, the guest agrees, and you made another $10, $15, $20, depending on how far the distance is, on how many guests you bring over to your property, and what the usual rate is of the place, for example. So therefore, in the case of an airport transfer, the timing is important, and I would always shoot this message right away in the welcome messages you send anyways. So the guest is aware that you can provide the service, and I wouldn't wait until the last day and ask them, oh, actually, do you need an airport transfer? Because most of the time, they either took care of it already, they paid somebody else, or they will just get it from somebody else, and you missed out on the opportunity that you could make some extra profit from the same guest. Second thing as an easy upsell is also, for example, imagine, now when we host guests in Zanzibar, some of our guests, they arrive very late or very, very early in the morning, and maybe there's no restaurant open, there's no shop open at this time, but the guest Maybe he had a 10-hour, 12-hour, whatever long flight, and the house is empty, they don't have anything. So what you could also offer then to them, for example, is either you get groceries for them, or it's also an extra service for you, and maybe your cleaner can just do it. For example, in Zanzibar, we do this also. Our cleaner can just get the groceries for them the day before, put them in the fridge, or again, cook them a nice meal. Prepare this also, what is also an upsell, where you can also charge money for. Buy the groceries before the cleaning lady or the chef, whoever, however it looks like for you. Just imagine for yourself how you could fulfill this service as well, by maybe just offering this to your first couple of guests. If you know that they have a late flight, they have an early arrival, or even if they don't and they might just want more convenience on the first day, or even throughout this day, you could offer this service. You can provide them this and give the guests much more convenience. You know, they don't have to be hungry, they don't have to cook, they don't have to worry about getting groceries. So like, these are smaller things also. If I imagine myself, I'm very easy when I travel, but when I look at some other guests, they appreciate the convenience because you made their life easier. They don't have to figure out which store they have to buy groceries from in the area. They don't have to go out when they're tired. So you made their life easier. You either provided a good meal for them, or you brought them groceries into their place. And again, for this one, this is something you also can let them know in the welcome message, or if the stay is too far out, let's say they book today and they will stay with you in 120 days. Sometimes it's also good to remind them, maybe shortly before you stay, you know, like a couple of days before, maybe let's say 5 days, for example, in advance, to be like, hey, in case you need anything, we can also get groceries for you, we can also cook something for you. This comes at this and this and this charge for X amount of groceries, for whatever it is, you know, they give you a list, you get it for them, and you put, again, your commission on top because you did the work for them, you did provide an extra service. So another potential upsell option is providing your guests with curated tours. So give them experiences, you know, like for example, if someone comes to Nairobi and they come as a tourist, you know that they probably will go on a safari, you know that they will probably do things that tourists want to do, want to see, maybe a city tour, a walking city tour, maybe Masai Mara, maybe something that's unique about Nairobi or Kenya itself. Or the same thing applies to Zanzibar, to Accra, to every single place you can think of or you're hosting in. So what then? Because if you know that you have tourists or people that want to do these things anyways, and they will pay money to do these things anyways to somebody, either they book it online, some people book it online for like double, triple the price anyways, and you have someone who you can trust, you can arrange these tours also for them. You also, again, just need to connect, like in the first example, just connect them with the tour operator. They fulfill the job, but you get an extra commission on top, and you still save the guest money, and you still made something extra for you, and the guest is also more relaxed and easier because they trust you more, and you might also charge less than somebody they could find while still being abroad online, because the prices there can be also ridiculous, you know. Again, it can be safaris, it can be snorkeling tours, it can be diving tours, it can be whatever, think of the context where you are hosting and what you guests anyways are doing, and where you might also have these connects with people who are offering these services, that you give your guests, again, a better and easier journey throughout their stay. And in the end of the day, you are also part of making their experience so special because you organize these things for them. You increase guest experience and you increase profit also from the same guests, because they, even sometimes when somebody just wants to pay 30 USD per night to stay at your place, for example, or 50, whatever it is, because they anyway see this maybe just as a place to sleep, they will still go out to eat, they will still spend $50, $100 per tour, per person, for example. So they spend so much money more outside. Why couldn't you get a cut of it and giving them a better experience and making life easier for them? I hope I gave you a couple of ideas. It's getting dark now, so I will close down now and give you my last couple of thoughts. How you can implement this right away without a lot of hustle would be now, for example, think of one thing that's the easiest thing you could implement now. It could be the airport transfer, it could be a special or a tour where you anyways have an operator you're working with, or that is that you trust, that you know, maybe not working with, or it could be if you're a cleaning lady, your team, you have a good chef. Why are you not picking one of these things that you know that you guess anyways wants, offer this to them and test how it works, how it improves, how they react, how can you actually get them to accept this service or pay for your service, you know, like is it maybe the first message you sent them, or if you later on communicate via WhatsApp with them after they booked and the closer the stay comes, and you just remind them a couple of times without being too salesy, just trying to give them the better experience and the option that you could help them with these things. Grab 1, 2, 3 things maybe and try to offer it to your guests. implement it right away, because I know it makes you more money, because we tested this as well on the properties we are working with and the ones we have. And therefore I would say, if you do this now, I can almost guarantee you that a couple of guests will agree, and you will find more and more things you can add on that they will also profit from, and that make you also more money. And if you want to improve the upsells you have, you want to get more profits out of your units that you have without needing to add more units, we have weekly live calls where we discuss all these things with our private community. The link is down below in the description, and only until December 31st, we have, for the first 25 members that are joining from now on, giving away a one-on-one consultation with me and my business partner Wayne, and to help you to kickstart your business, to grow and to make more profits. And I hope to see you there. Otherwise, I hope I gave you enough value that you can implement it now, make more money with your property, and I see you in the next video.